So essentially that's 50% of children with a disability will have some form of unwanted sexual touch before they turn 18.
I mean, I've got through a bit of a Royal Commission on the abuse for young kids. And one thing which I picked up was kids with disabilities are more vulnerable towards abuse.
Yep.
And I was reading a bit of accounts and it was difficult to read through the accounts. But how do you see in those settings, kids with some form of disability or non-verbal are overexposed or more vulnerable than other kids? And how does this, a safeguarding, how far do you push safeguarding to be purely governing everybody all the time, every time, versus protecting children appropriately and trying to do our best?
So you're right. We say that 1 in 4 children in Australia will have some form of unwanted sexual touch or activity before they turn 18. But when we talk about children with disability, or as we like to say, different abilities, it doubles, 1 in 2. So essentially that's 50% of children with a disability will have some form of unwanted sexual touch before they turn 18. Why is the data so high? Well, because those who offend against children are always looking for opportunities, not only to offend against children, but to get away with it. So when we talk about safeguarding and organisations that work with children with varying abilities, it's really important, as I spoke about earlier, to make sure every child gets what they need. So in a safeguarding environment, what does that child need to be safe? Is the child verbal? Are they non-verbal? Do we need to amend the way we educate? And so there you go, there's the key. Educating the child is the most important safeguarding tool that we can rely on. Because when children are abused, quite often they're abused in isolation. They don't have the language to be able to prevent the abuse. And even if they don't have the language and the abuse occurred, or they do have the language and the abuse occurred, it's not the child's responsibility to keep themselves safe. It's adults' responsibility. But what we have learned over many years, and probably the last 30 years, is that educating children with the language of safety and the language of protective behaviours is the most important, because they need to be able to resist a sex offender or a child sex offender. Someone thinking about having sex with a child or offending against a child has a number of preconditions they have to overcome. The first one is having a thought to do it in the first place, so a motivation. Those with a motivation then need to overcome their internal inhibitors, which is their conscience. If they manage to jump that wall, then they need to get access to children. And if they manage to get access to children, the last brick wall is overcoming the child's resistance. So it's pretty simple. We need to educate children, all children. But a child with a disability, a child that's more vulnerable than another child, needs extra education. Because they just need more. They need more education. That education needs to be tailored to their needs, and we need to find ways to educate them differently, maybe to mainstream.